Questions for these two candidates? Are you going to ask a question? You?
I personally am going to ask a question. And I'm asking this of Angela. I normally don't take information that people give me, but I am going to ask you this. On many occasions, you have stood your ground or said you are hard on sex offenders. This is going to be really hard for me to do.
It's all right, go ahead.
I have come across some information that you were the state attorney and Eddie Shell was the defending attorney, and you gave a man
just say the question, lady.
Who 10 years deferred adjudication for
Well, Petey, you can stop right there. I know what case you're talking about.
Me too. I think everybody does.
And he is a multiple sex offender.
For sexual offenses that occurred before I ever went to work at the DA's office. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
He had already been on probation for sexual offenses. At the time that that probation was about to expire, some new allegations came forward. I sat down with the victims, who were grown at the time.
Exactly.
We had a discussion, and they had their input. And they wanted to not to take a chance on him to walk, as opposed to he pled to 2 different counts. One was 10 years for 10 years, because you can't plead to a longer term incarcerated more than 10 years to be on probation.
Exactly.
So he had a 10 for 10 with a $10,000 fine. And on the other count, the reason that he was given a deferred was because if he messed up on that probation, he could be sentenced up to 99 years in prison.
That's exactly right.
That was the victim's choice. That was their choice through discussion with me. I laid out the options because I believe that people need to know the truth, and I'm not gonna deny the truth. And so, let me finish. You asked that question. So that decision was made based on the desires of the victims.
Exactly.
And since he's committed more sexual...
Well, if he has, I'll be floored about that because he's on felony probation. And as far as I know, he hasn't had a motion to revoke filed or a motion to adjudicate filed. And I would be floored to know that he had committed new offenses. And if he has, please let me know so I can report it to his probation officer, because I don't think that's accurate.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah. You might go insane.
Further questions?
Stupid. Get your information right next time.
I'm sorry, it's something you'll speak on a lot. But budget-wise, have you had a chance to browse the budget and see where you think you could save some money? Do we need more staffing? Do we need more money?
This is for both candidates?
Well, the budget, as best as I can tell, is about $1 million, and I think about 85% of that is personnel. Now, saving money in the budget right now, with the amount of cases we've got, I don't see saving money or cutting back on that budget when about 85% of it is personnel, because we need the prosecutors we've got. We need everybody to be in the courtroom. That's why I want to be one of the trial lawyers in the cycle that tries cases, because we need everybody working there. Now, I can see saving money for the county in some ways that we operate. Wouldn't be directly out of the district attorney's budget. But if we can move cases along faster, if we can get cases, those cases, especially where people are in jail awaiting trial, that's $35 to $40 a day that the citizens of this county pay for those people that are in jail. If we can get them sent to the TDC, to the penitentiary, where they belong, if they're going to be tried and convicted, then still paid by taxpayers. But it's not, the cost is not borne solely by the taxpayers of this county. So there are ways operations can help, but I don't see cutting the budget or saving money in this budget. And
well, I agree that the budget, as I understand it, is about, like Sonny said, it's about $988,000, and that does not include the district attorney's salary that's paid by the state. we need all the personnel we can use, and I don't see that we're going to be able to cut that budget given the number of cases. We have about 600 cases pending, and like I said, we get about 850 a year coming in. So I don't see the ability to cut those cases. I mean, to cut the budget. I do, and I would agree with Sonny on this. I think that the faster we can move cases, the more efficient we can become, both as a DA's office and as a county. But I don't see where we're going to be able to save a lot of money budgetary-wise right now. What I do see also is that we can restructure a little bit of that budget and reallocate it so that we have career prosecutors there and we have career staff there and we've got well-qualified people that are paid well enough to want to stay.
Next.
Yes, Angela, this concerns you. What I'm going to do is I would like to, which I saw, refer back to 2 days ago on an article that appeared in the Highlander on Tuesday, July 17th.
Yes, sir.
And instead of reading this whole thing, I'm just going to take some excerpts out of it.
Okay.
Okay. And in this it says, Barnett man complains about political flyers in mailboxes. Okay, and this gentleman that's in here, and I'm just going to quote what it says here, it's not my words, comes from Mr. Thurman, and it says here, a Barnett man said he was ticked off that an area political candidate left a political flyer in his mailbox with no postmark. I did not see a postmark and wondered how it arrived. Thurman said, then I remembered seeing her campaign crew go by in the house in a golf cart. I guess the attorney does not know it's illegal for her to put these flyers in mailboxes according to section 1725 of Title 18 of the U.S. Code.
And you know what it was done? You know what was done? Is that it was me and a friend of mine. Her son went to the emergency room, she was with us, and we put them in the mailboxes that were like 2 miles off of.
Yes, I did.
Instead of going up and bothering them, I laid it. You know how you have a mailbox and you have a little slot? That's what I did. And the post office was very nice to call me and give them back. She had no idea about it.
Then, okay, I'll just drop
That's what's so sorry about it.
Angela Dowd did not return requests for comments on this article to Mr. Thurman or to the Highlander, and this, to me, by not returning requests was a well-orchestrated procedure in your campaign, and you knew about it, and I would like for you to comment on this newspaper article. Thank you.
Okay, I guess you didn't see the Barnett Bulletin or the Llano County Journal that did include my comments. And Mr. Graham's here, and he's right here in the news from the newspaper, and he can tell you that that wasn't really going to go to print because they hadn't talked to me. And if you read the Friday Highlander, or you read the Barnett Bulletin, or you read the Llano County Journal, you would see that my comment said that, of course I know that it's illegal, and that I never did speak with Mr. Graham. He left a message evidently on my office phone, and I didn't get the message. Mr. Thurman left one message on my office phone evidently, but he never left a name or number, just a voicemail.
Yep.
As soon as it was brought to my attention, of course I know it's illegal. Evidently some of my less experienced staff didn't, or they overlooked it.
Yeah.
But as soon as it was brought to my attention by the postman, who actually collected all the flyers that were placed in the mailbox and brought them back to me, I expressed my apologies, and I asked that he convey those apologies to anyone that it may have affected. I couldn't return Mr. Thurman's phone call because he didn't leave a name or number.
Very good.
I didn't talk to Mr. Graham until the Barnett Bulletin came out, and I contacted him. And actually, it was a Highlander on Tuesday, and I contacted him, and he apologized immensely because it wasn't supposed to go to press because no one had discussed it with me. So, you know, it wasn't a concentrated effort or an orchestrated effort to do anything improper or illegal. It was simply a voicemail that left no name and number, and an error because actually Mr. Graham left work early that day to attend the Highland Lakes Tea Party Forum, which I attended, and so did he, and it was unknown to him that it was going to go to press. And I would ask that you could confirm that with Mr. Graham, Mr. Bodie, the publisher of the newspaper, or anyone else there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.